Hello everybody and welcome to a certain scientific Railgun T, episode 24. We're very nearly, we're literally at the end game now, folks. Episode review. This week's episode, it was a really action-packed episode. Obviously we had the surprise Gundam battle. That was a thing that happened. Yep, I'm talking about Railgun still. Still on Railgun. I know. We had the big old team up help from the scavenger, and then of course we also have the Misaka just firing off railguns left and right. Rights? Lot of railguns going on. That is definitely a thing that happened. But first off, I'm gonna say, if I'm a bit out of it in this week's episode, I've had like no sleep. PS5 pre-orders came out. If you're aware about that, you know what a nightmare it's been. For the record, yes, I did get one. But anyway, let's get on to the episode, see exactly how everything went down, and do this thing. We pick up where we left off at the end of last week's episode, and that is with the Doppelganger making a giant rock monstrosity. How is Misaka gonna defeat that thing? It throws buildings at her, and I guess you can block them because magnets. Magnets are wonderful things. Obviously, it's magnetism. It does make sense, but it's just funny that she's like this tall and she can stop a building. Level 5, man. Level 5 is an impressive thing. Anyway, what's Misaka's plan to fight this giant thing though? Well, she gathers up some iron sand, a lot of iron sand, and she makes an iron sand golem herself. Now, this was another one of them moments I'm like, did that happen in the manga? And if it did, how did I forget about that? Like, I feel like this season is like, I've just forgotten so much stuff, so much awesome stuff, and it's just like, how did I forget that? It's crazy, absolutely crazy, insane. Giant golem fight happens. It's like power. You know, at the end of like a Power Rangers episode, they were like, it's morphin time. We got to make the Megazord, and then they go fight. You know, Rita Repulsa like, make my monster grow. Then they fight the monster in the Megazord. This was basically that. If people have never seen Power Rangers, they probably, don't understand that reference. But if you have, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Doppelganger goes to crush it because it's got more power. Because, giant rocks, little iron sand. Makes sense. Goes to crush it and everything. Misaka, though, then shoots off a railgun using the Golem. It's a Golem railgun. A big old railgun. And blows apart half of the Doppelgolem, words are hard to say, blows apart half its body. It tries to repair itself, but Misaka has the iron sand, got it inside the crevices, I guess, and it's basically cutting it apart from the inside. That's a good plan. After that, though, Doppelganger's also got a plan. Her plan is let's just nuke some innocent civilians, I guess. Got a bunch of gas canisters. Misaka just is firing off railguns left and right, like pew 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 pew. Gotta save the villagers, basically. A lot of explosions going off. Saturn and Ueharu hear them and like, oh weird, I wonder what that's about. And Kuroko's like, it's gotta be her. She knows. She's like, I'd love to have the call to help, but it doesn't come because Misaka can handle it herself, basically. The iron sand from these. From the railguns and from everything that's happened, the iron sand is just in the air, in the atmosphere, which was the Golem's plan, or the Doppelganger's plan all along, was to use the iron sand to locate the invisible airship. Because obviously, it's invisible, but it's still solid, so it'll just be like iron sand floating on top of it, I guess. That's my interpretation of the plan. Cinderella, I guess, is the name of the airship, which, fair enough. Cinderella, what was Cinderella? I'm trying to think of a funny joke for Cinderella, and I can't think of one regarding to airships. Magic airship. Man, I'm tired, It happens, but hey, the crucial detail is the Doppelganger's true goal is going great. Everything else was just extra, basically. A bunch of dummy Doppelgangers spawn, and Misaka gets off the giant iron sand robot to fight them. I'm like, just squash them with the robot. It's not a robot, but you get what I'm saying. They load them spawn. They got like plant stems, like a thread coming out of them towards the ship, which I guess is just to get her up there, like Spider-Man, I guess. Kuriba shows up, the real one, and Doppelganger immediately, she's like, stop! And then Doppelganger's like, we must go. And then takes Kuriba with her. It's like, well, you didn't do too good a job there, Kuriba. Hope you're not scared of heights, because you're going pretty high. Misaka cuts some thread down. It's like, I knew it. I knew there was a thing there. And then sees Kuriba in trouble and is just like, well, god damn it. Now I got to go and help, don't I? Yes, she does. She does this cool thing. She sort of like makes a grappling hook out of iron sand. Misaka doing a lot with iron sand. They're making iron sand is like the most not interesting ability she's got, but it's just so cool how many uses it's got. She can make a sword. She can make a mecha. She can make a grappling hook, basically. Iron sand, like that alone is just an awesome ability. And when you add on top of that all the electricity stuff and obviously the railgun, she could do a lot more than you'd think originally. When you hear electric powers, it's not just like, it's like, no, I can do all this other stuff. I can magnets. I can like attach myself to buildings. Oh, unlimited uses. Unlimited railgun works. I don't know. Kuriba begins bargaining, I guess, with the Doppelganger. Says, hey, 2 months and I can destroy the soul. And Doppelganger's like, why would I accept that? I don't want my soul destroyed. And Kuriba's like, no, my soul. You can have the body. I'll die. And it'll be good. And Doppelganger's like, first of all, I don't believe you. Like, I'm not... Do you think I was born yesterday? I'm not going to fall for that. And second of all, I don't even want your goddamn body. I just want you to die, basically. Which is a bit harsh, you know. It's not entirely Kuriba's fault. But then she's all just like, well, guess I'll die. And she falls off the... She basically jumps off the airship. She like lets the wings take her off the airship and everything. Misaka sees this and is like, oh crap, I gotta save her now. Does a grappling hook which can't reach. It's just outside of her range. Like literally just outside. Like if she was like a little bit closer, she probably would have been within range. And I guess Kuriba's gonna die. Oh no! Who can save the day? Who is it? The badge activates. It's Scavenger. Scavenger send in a plane. Which is good to save Kuriba and everything. So Scavenger, they didn't run away. Leader's a good girl, really. Gonna save her new bestie, which is Misaka. And yeah. And then afterwards, Leader Axel Tsundere, and it's like, it's not like I care or anything. It's just because we're alliance for right now, Baka, which is pretty funny. Tsundere Leader. I'm on board with that. I'm definitely on board with that. As Misaka's climbing the airship, she's like climbing up the side of it. Misaki calls Shakaho basically to say, how's it going? And Misaka says something about artificial muscle papers, which is, I guess, something to do with the thread. To be honest, this bit I didn't follow it exactly, but I'll get what I got, basically. Leader also pipes in on the conversation, basically says, hey, when I found it, it was at our research facility. It was doing something, you remember, it had the thread stuff on the screen, so it was doing something with that. My guess is they made, like, thread web, like Spider-Man web, which is fair enough, I guess. And they're like, could an AI really pull that off? And they're like, well, this AI could, because it, you know, it basically it had everything she had. So it's got her brain plus AI is sort of how I see it. That's a very simple way of thinking of it. But that's how I'm going to think of it. This whole act is a smokescreen. Basically, this was a meticulously thought out plan. The Doppelganger knew it wasn't human for a long ass time and planned this whole thing out. This wasn't a spur of the moment, oh wait, I'm not human, I'm gonna go blow something up now thing. It knew the whole time, and that's a scary thought. This is how Skynet starts. Let's not start Skynet. So the real reason it's all despairing is not because, hey, Kuriba's took its place in the world or whatever, it's not human. The real reason is because it doesn't think it has a soul. I keep calling it it. Should I call it a her? I'll probably flip between, you know. It doesn't think she has a soul herself, which, you know, not good. And then Misaka's like, well, you killed Kuriba, now what do you want? And she's like, I guess I'll just kill all the humans. She wants revenge against all of humanity. She has good lines. She's like, I'm going to burn the whole city because I set all these tanks up and the threads are linking to them. So I'm going to burn the whole city down and everyone will die. So... Needs stopping does the Doppelganger. She says a good line, she's like, direct your complaints to the researchers that created me, please. And I'm like, that was a funny. Basically saying like, hey, well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Most of the researchers in Academy City are not morally sound, I think it's fair to say. They're all a bit, maybe not completely evil, but they're all at least a little bit questionable. And these ones are certainly no exception. The fight is on. Misaki gets thrown off the airship almost. She manages to save us at the last minute. If she didn't, she would have made a splat, and that would have been good. That would have been the end. You know, wouldn't have been a very happy ending, but it would have happened. Leader is helping her during this fight using her eye ability to locate all the enemies, telling her exactly where they all are. It's actually some pretty good teamwork. She's like the supporter, and Misaka is like the proper like attacker and everything. Giant drill from Doppelganger gets launched at her, basically. Misaka manages to block it with a railgun. We'll say block it. She railguns it, but as she went to do it, Leader was like, no, don't do that. Your trajectory's off. So I'm assuming the railgun is going to like break the ship or something. I have read the manga. That doesn't mean I remember it. I've said that before, but I'm not just putting on an act saying like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. No, I can't remember. Like, I genuinely can't remember what's going to happen. So yeah, Misaka railguns, and that's where we ended. Looks like she got the Doppelganger, so maybe the Doppelganger just wanted to die, and this whole thing was just an elaborate way to die. You can think of easier ways than that, you know. Just saying. But yeah, no, that was the end of the episode. Ended on a, you know, ended on the railgun. Next week, the preview looks like, I mean, all the preview stuff looked like it was very epilogue-y, which I imagine is what it's going to be. Misaka will meet with all her friends and be like, hey there, how are you? And then they'll be like, we're friends still, yeah. And then they'll high-five, and Kuroko will do something perverted, probably. That's probably how I see it going. But anyway, that's next week. What was my favourite part of this week's episode, though? That is indeed a question. So my favourite part of the episode is quite simple, really. It's the giant mech fight out of nowhere, because it was so unexpected, but at the same time it was kind of cool. People are going to complain about the CG, maybe. I think the CG was quite good here. It looked like it fit within the show. I said it last week, but the mech fight as well, it was fine, you know. It didn't offend me to look at, and that is good. So can't go wrong with giant mech fights often. I need to watch more mecha anime just in general. I've barely seen any, and the ones I have seen I didn't enjoy too much. So maybe I shouldn't be watching more mecha anime. But this was good. I mean, it's not exactly mecha, but you get what I'm saying. It was just really enjoyable. I forgot about all this of Dream Ranker. Like, I think a lot of it is to do with the anime, because it's been very well animated, which again, JC Staff, that's kind of weird. But the real question is, going into the final episode next week, is this the best season? Like, for me, it's easily between this and Railgun S. Like, I don't think any of the others really can hold a candle to those two. But I can't decide which one's better. Like, because Railgun S has Silent Party, and Silent Party just sucks. I'm not a fan of Silent, except the last episode where it was a big old fight. That was good. But yeah, no, not a fan of Silent Party, but Sisters was really good. But I would say, is Daihase as good as Sisters? You know what? Let me know what you guys think. Is this the best season? And if it's not, tell me what your favourite season is. Because I don't know. For me, like I said, it's between one of them two. Not exactly sure off the top of my head yet. I'll figure it out at some point. Every Index season or Tuaru season tier list. Let's go. No. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. I will see you next week for the season finale of this. Take care, and bye, guys.